friends, today I'll be sharing two dishes with you. These are pretty easy to make at home, and one is for breakfast and the other one is for lunch or dinner. You will decide that, and without further ado, let's go. So for our first recipe, we require only 6 ingredients. We are going to use rolled up oats, and we're going to have to blend them so that we can make flour out of them. And we will need a banana, a ripe one. So to our bowl, we're going to add our oat flour, the baking powder, the salt and sugar, and we're going to mix this up well so that everything is coated and even. Then we will mash up our banana. I'm using 1 banana here, but you can use however much you want. And when this is all mashed up, we're going to add into our oat flour and mix it up a little before we add in our water or milk. Slowly we are going to put in our water bit by bit, so just to make sure we do not make it too runny, because when it's too runny, then you're not going to have oat pancakes that are cooked through. So make sure to add in a little at a time to have a good consistency. I've added about 2 cups of water here, and you can see the consistency is not too thin and not too thick. So this is what you want for your batter. Let your batter sit on the countertop for about 5 minutes, and meanwhile let's get our pan heated up. And when it's all heated up, just apply some oil, and then using a ladle or whatever you can, pour in some of that butter, smooth it up really nice, and leave it to cook for about 2 to 3 minutes on one side before flipping it. And yeah, that's it. I'll go ahead and make the rest of the batch of pancakes, and we'll be back in a while. So my pancakes are all fried up, they're all nice and golden, and I decided to top them with some sweet apple and maple syrup. I have a sweet tooth and I love everything sweet, so that's the reason for the extra sweetness, but you really don't have to add this if you don't like sweetness. And that's all. Your breakfast is ready and served. Bon appetit! Ooh, look at that. Next we're gonna make lentil patties, and I'm going to serve this over naan bread and some sweet and sour garlic and mayo sauce. But you can serve this in wraps, in burgers, even if you want to have them as meat just beside or alongside your rice, that is totally fine. So to begin with, we're going to peel 2 medium potatoes. Chop this up into small cubes. And now it's time to add them into our pot with water and the lentils. Make sure your lentils are good, they're clean, and cook this up for 15 to 20 minutes until all is tender. So once the potatoes and the lentils are cooked through, you want to drain them to get rid of the excess water and put them in a bowl. And now it's time to add in your spices. So I'm going to use a teaspoon of curry powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of paprika powder, and half a teaspoon of ground black pepper. Now, if you did add salt before this stage, that is when you just started cooking it, make sure to taste fast so that you don't oversalt your dish. And after adding in the spices, I'm going to mix it in with a fork and mash it all up together. I'm going to leave in some chunks because I like it when it's chunky, but if you want it smooth, that's totally fine as well. Mash the baby up, and when it's all mashed up and nice and smooth and everything is coated with the spices, we are going to start making our balls or our patties. Scoop about a tablespoon of the mash into your hands. You can press it into patties immediately, or you can form a ball first and then press it down using your fingers. Place your beautiful patties on a baking tray lined with parchment paper, and then finish up all the mash, and this will be ready to be baked. Patties are all done. I'm just putting them in the baking tray, and meanwhile my oven is being preheated at 250 degrees Celsius, but I'll reduce this to 150 when I'm cooking the patties. Our oven is nice and warm right now, and I'm going to bake these patties for 30 to 45 minutes until it's all crisp on the top. That's when or how I know that these are done. Okay, so it's been about 35 to 40 minutes, and I'm checking to see if it's all done. And yes, it's all done. So I'm going to leave this to rest for about 10 minutes before I start the sauce. My oh my.